I got some random stories, but we'll move on to the news that I've been wanting to talk about. Jessica, I don't know if you've kept up with this as it's been coming out on Twitter, but the Avatar third series got leaked out.
Do we know if the leaks are official?
I will say that some of the things have been getting taken down off of Twitter for copyright.
So they're official.
So that is generally a big indicator, yes. And there is a lot. So I will try to show them, risk my channel, my little baby channel. I'll risk them to maybe show them off. We'll see what happens. Because they can go after you.
Here's the thing. Like, I've seen so many times, it's like, oh, the new Avatar series got leaked. Oh, the Earth Avatar been revealed. And it's like, it's always been like some clickbait thing. So is this actually
there's a lot. We'll go through it. There's a lot here. So we have here the rumor. This is the exclusive or whatever. It's just like this thing, but more or less this has started spreading around on Twitter. They talk about like the show that's going to come out, whatever. The studio is also simultaneously working on other projects. They have 2 other feature films at the same stage of development, Avatar Kyoshi, blah, blah. Okay, so they're also developing a sequel series to Avatar, The Last Airbender, and The Legend of Korra, which will feature the next Avatar in the cycle, the Earthbending Avatar. This series is expected to debut exclusively on Paramount+. Not much is known about this next Avatar series. However, we at Night Edge Media can exclusively tell you that 2 episodes are finished as of July 2024 in the storyboard animatic stage with voiceovers. We teased this series over the summer on Twitter and can verify that the next Earth Avatar will be female again. Following Avatar Korra, she will be seen as a homeless young girl alongside her animal guide who looks like a large feline-type creature. The artist, if it was for reference only, is not associated with Avatar Studios. She is also an amputee missing her left leg. This series also takes place sometime in the future, as the storyboards look like people ride on hoverbirds, though it could simply be air surfing, as the airbenders should be well established by this time. So before I get into it, Jessica, we've talked about the possible next show and where they would go and all this. We kind of theorized cyberpunk, right? Was kind of what they would do. Modern times or cyberpunk.
Right.
That'd be dope.
I think they ought to do modern times first. And then I think they ought to save the cyberpunk futuristic style for the next Fire Avatar, because we all know it's going to come eventually.
Where do you think that? What would be the most like they're not gonna do that like that?
What do you mean?
Because I'm about to reveal what this show is, and I can tell you that it's not cyberpunk and it's not modern day.
Oh crap.
Is it medieval times?
Well, technically the first show is medieval.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of the same
more or less.
era.
Is there going to be something where like something happened that like set back civilization, and it's like
now our source has given some information context on the stage avatars by the time we meet this new avatar. As we couldn't verify these additional plot details, we labeled them as rumors for now until officially announced. Jumping right in, the 4 nations do not exist anymore.
What
the series will establish that some unknown cataclysmic event will occur that Avatar Korra will be forced to stop. She will in turn be forced to reshape the entire world from the original 4 nations to 7 new locations or havens, which I am told could be the subtitle of the series. This would effectively make Avatar Korra the most powerful avatar known in the lore due to her ability to break and remake the world on her own. Speculating this event would ultimately lead to the death with the rebirth of the avatar. Once the new avatar is born,
okay,
we will learn she will actually be from a set of identical twin sisters that have long been a fun fan theory. The recent novel The Reckoning is that Roku had a twin who died before he was announced as Avatar. Nevertheless, these twins will be the focal point of the series. The White Lotus is expected to have taken one of the twins and raised her in wealth, as she is seen as the more powerful of the two. It's unknown if they are separated at birth or as toddlers. But the second twin somehow ends up cast aside and forgotten. She grows up on the streets of one of the new havens with her animal guide. Eventually, the 2 twins are reunited and begin training together, as the non-Avatar twin is still very powerful and has actual training from the White Lotus. Again, this is speculation, but the series could eventually introduce both having a part of Rava in them. Thus, technically, both are the Avatar, but that is unknown.
That's
They could also play with the dark and light Avatar stories again, but that seems like a retread of Legend of Korra Season 2 and extremely underwhelming, though I suspect they'll keep it simple with one of the Avatar and one not the Avatar. Okay. So here's the thing. Well,
before you get to that, I want to say this. The idea that like they both have Rava inside of them, that's stupid. However, if they want to redeem the Rava and
Unalak, Vatu,
if they want to redeem that whole thing and like take Avatar back to its more Eastern origins, they could have a situation to where maybe one twin does inherit Rava, the other maybe inherits Vatu, but the one that inherits Vatu, instead of just being ooh, I'm evil like Unalak.
Yeah.
Like, instead, they actually have to master the darkness that is Vatu so that Vatu doesn't master them. And so it ends up becoming more of a yin-yang type of thing instead of light versus dark, good versus evil. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So and that would go back to the whole balance theme of the series to where, it's more like, okay, in order for the world to really be in balance, like you have to have Rava and Vatu to stop fighting one another, and maybe now that you find some way for them to coexist.
Yeah, so as was pointed out, if you picked up on it, right, the four nations are gone after a cataclysmic event, right? And you'll see when we show the character designs that so instead of modern day and instead of cyberpunk, Avatar has jumped into post-apocalypse, which is what this is going to be, basically. This is going to be a post-apocalypse.
So is it like modern times? Because a post-apocalyptic medieval times isn't that interesting because it's all just like brick destroyed on the ground.
That's the thing, right? Like I feel like it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be post-apocalypse, but technically it is post-cataclysmic event. So it's either post-apocalypse or post like universal reset or something.
I mean, if it was like primordial times, that would be kind of interesting.
Like if it was like a Horizon Zero Dawn thing and it did like
maybe
that they all have formed tribes and everything.
I feel like I've seen this too much already.
Yeah, it feels too much like Adventure Time in a way.
Yeah.
So we do have, so the name is Pavi. Meet Pavi, the next Avatar from the Avatar Last Bender universe. Is kind of re-goes over the same thing. We learned that the Avatar's name is Pavi, and she seems to be very young in the scene, maybe 10. No, we're not doing that now. So they're describing a scene that we can actually see right here. Mute the thing. There we go. There's some animation that got leaked out, which is like, okay, there's some stuff here already. Like clearly this is something, right? Like clearly this is, there's the cat guide that was mentioned, and unless this is a really, really well done fan comic or fan thing, this is,
How do we feel about another girl Avatar?
Well, I am happy she's younger. I will say that just because I was worried about there's no way that I was like, there's no way that they have a girl Avatar again go after a boy, but you also can't have a boy go after a boy because then I feel like that would be. But it's like I want to see because there's always the romance, right? And they always try to force it. But I'm glad she's a kid because it's like, okay, no romance, we're good, we're done with that. So this the girl.
You don't want any more love triangles and end up
love triangles
with a relationship that had no foreshadowing or hints whatsoever of happening, but they threw it in there at the very end regardless because fuck it. Yeah, because lesbians.
Yeah. So the girl on the right here with the prosthetic leg and the black skin or dark skin is your new Avatar. Here, this is apparently her friend / airbending teacher.
Hi, Tenzin.
But also this art style is kind of boring. I want the art style, but just like I guess character art.
Jay Beans is a savage.
I'm happy she's younger. Was the Wizard of Oz.
I was going to say something about that too, but I'll let it go.
Okay, well, if we want to get into the minutia of it all, I mean, I'm not Ruby King for one, but no, Avatar was at its best when it was a kids show with kids, right? Korra tried to be a teen show, but also for kids, and it was a big problem.
Well,
but,
I mean, wasn't Aang? He was more of like a young teen or like getting there.
Yeah, he's 12 in.
Wait, Aang is 12?
Well, he's technically 100. He's 112, but yeah, he's 12. Because he says, like in the first episode or the second episode, like, you've been in that iceberg for 100 years, and he's like, "What? Do I look like an 112-year-old man to you?" And he basically says, like, they say 112, but yeah, he's meant to be the official age.
I swear to God, these characters look older than what they are.
Yeah, the official ages are out there, but it's like he's 12. I think Katara's 13. Zuko is 16. Sokka is 15. Azula is like 13 or 14, something like that. Like, they're out there.
Yeah, they're about teenage years.
Yeah. Well, but I until recently, I thought like Zuko and
Azula.
Yeah, fuck Azula. I thought they were like late teens, early 20s, but then we found out she's 14. I'm like, there's no fucking way. But apparently,
yeah. So looks like there are 7 settlements, and everything outside of them is a wasteland. So here's like another picture.
Yeah, they're gonna be fighting dinosaurs, which is kind of cool.
Are they like? Is that like a Native American theme?
I don't think it's Native American thing, because like this is just more like ripped up clothes. This is just like outside of them. They have like a.
What was the second season kind of set in? So are they all kind of separate from each other?
Okay, so the there's the one show, Avatar: Last Airbender, right, and it's very Eastern focused, and then Legend of Korra takes place like 60 or 50 years after
something
Avatar.
Like that.
So is
what? You think you're cut off? You're cut off, Snowman. Can't hear you.
Hello.
What about now?
You good? Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So my bad. What about Aang and all like the other ones? Are they in the second season?
No.
Okay, so how it works with the avatars? There can't be 2 avatars at the same time. Mm-hmm. Once the one dies, they're reincarnated as the next avatar.
Oh, okay.
So basically, like, one cannot live until the other is dead.
I always kind of wanted to get into the show because I really liked the art style actually, and I respect it a lot for what it's trying to do.
I will say also, it's hand drawn.
Yes, exactly.
Hand drawn, great lore, great world building, all that. Like the magic system, all that. You'll love it. You'll love it.
It's like a westernized anime kind of.
Yeah, I will say now some of the other cast besides Aang is in the second series.
Yeah, the second series. Yeah,
like old lady Katara's there, old man Zuko is in there.
Mm-hmm.
Toph is in there. Yeah.
There is also then more like leaks that it's like this is a screen grab from a laptop, but you can see the twin sister that will also have a twin cat, it would seem. So basically, yeah,
yin and yang. Yo, look at that. A light cat and a dark cat. Yeah. Rava and Vatu. Yin it's and confirmed. Yang. Here we go. Your boy
triangle
called it.
Right there on the triangle too. Like, at least it's not the stupid fucking kite. What if one dies and is revived? That just they're dead. There's no like once you die, then like you have like 9 months to like gestate, I believe,
well, technically, if we're being technical about it, it's not that like when Aang died, Aang himself reincarnated as Korra. That's not technically what happens. It's the Avatar spirit that reincarnates.
But they speak as though they are the same person.
They are in a way, but they also retain some individuality.
Yeah, otherwise, they are a different person. They're not like, they don't have the memories. They can access the memories if they wish, but it's not like they're like
right.
I am reborn again kind of thing.
Otherwise, the current Avatar couldn't speak to the past Avatars.
Yeah, Grumpy says, insanely enough, Korra is almost after Aang in the short time they moved. Yeah, like I said, it's 50 years, and because of the technology of the Fire Nation, they moved ahead to the 1920 style. And then then so for this new one, the Cataclysmic happens, and then they're basically like it's post-apocalypse, and the tech might be there, it might not be. I don't know. I would have loved a cyberpunk.
Yeah,
like
that would have been wild.
Avatar. It would have been so cool.
It would have been way different.
So on some level, I'm kind of disappointed they're not going that direction. At the same time, I'm not against what they're doing, and like the idea of like possibly there being a yin and yang type of Avatar thing with Robin Vatu. That's my speculation. It's just my speculation. I think that would be.
I don't want to see any of those fucking kites ever again.
I don't. Well,
I have to specify. I said kite.
Yeah,
I said kite with a T.
There, dude. It's part of the lore. You can't change it. All right. They can redeem it instead of making it like, oh, Vatu's the devil. I mean, that's essentially what it was. It would be more like we're gonna make it to where it's more like, Vatu and Rava are yin and yang. There needs to be a balance, which is much more in line with the Eastern inspiration of Avatar, because again, I have to explain this to people. Yin and yang do not represent good and evil. They represent complementary opposites that when brought together creates all multiplicity in the universe. The most simple way to think about it is you have male, you have female. When you bring them together, you get a new creation. That's what it is. So if they want to go that route, they can redeem that whole plot line that we got in Korra. That would actually be pretty cool. I would dig that. Now I will say this about the new Avatar being a girl again. Her being a child, I think is interesting because it shakes up the dynamic. What I was worried about is that here we go. It's Korra 2.0. It's Korra Redux. And that's boring. That's boring to just do that again. But her being a little kid, okay, we can kind of roll with that. I do hope then, if that's the case though, like to make all things even, when they eventually do get around to a fire avatar, and they will do a fire avatar at some point. We've not seen that yet. Yes, we have Roku, but he's not the main character.
I will say, I will put in if they do a fire avatar, because this third show might just suck and then they never touch it again.
If they do, I want that avatar to be a boy.
Yeah. They should have gone back to the boy girl thing. I know that people said that it's not a real thing because if you look at the timeline of the past, it's just more for a better show, right? Like if you look at Roku had Aang, that's boy and boy back together. But, just for the show, you had Aang as a boy, Korra as a girl, third is a boy, fourth is a girl, right? Could have done something like that. But I think they want to have Korra and this girl, because Korra erased the past avatars from this new person, right?
Right.
She's the only one this person can talk to. So
that's some shit though.
It'll be like what do I do, Korra? And it'll be like, have you tried stealing your boyfriend's girlfriend?
Yeah, I was gonna say, let me tell you how I ended up with a love triangle. And even though I showed no signs of being attracted to women whatsoever for 3 seasons, all of a sudden at the tail end of my last adventure, I ended up getting the love bug for the girl that I was fighting with over the affection of her boyfriend.
And he got nothing. And
he died miserable and lonely, and he is buried in an unmarked grave. Fuck Mako.
That's the thing. That's the other question. Who do you expect to see from Korra in this show? Because the way that it's looking, it's not, if she's killed off in this cataclysmic event, and then this character's only 10, we might be looking at only like a 40-year gap or something, or like 40-year gap between, like, who knows? You want to see like Kuvira, redeemed Kuvira, become like a wise sage or something, or like Toph was or something. You want to see.
I wouldn't be against Kuvira coming back. I used to really hate Kuvira as like the final villain, because I'm like, is she really that impressive compared to like the Dark Avatar?
No, like fucking
Zahir.
Zahir is
like,
the guy.
Yeah, I'm like, is she? But then I kind of realized what they were doing. It was meant to be a bit more poetic, because essentially Kavira was becoming like the next, she, like, her Earth Empire was becoming the next Fire Nation pretty much.
Yeah.
And so Korra stopping her is kind of correcting the mistakes of Roku, correcting the mistakes of one of her past lives, because she prevented another 100-year war type of thing from happening.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I thought about it in that context, I'm like, you know what? That's kind of cool. And to have that be the ending of that series, it kind of works because it's poetic.
Yeah. It's also a retread, not really in a bad way, but more like a poetry rhyming of Kyoshi, and Chin the Conqueror was also trying to take over all the Earth Kingdom.
That's true.
She killed him.
So I've come to appreciate that season, what Kavira represents more.
Yeah. Grumpy says, honestly, I just don't count Korra as canon. Okay, come on. Like,
you can't do. Listen. Korra is not all bad. Okay, Korra is not all bad.
Korra's got some stuff. That first season and that third season is really good.
Yeah.
Its writing is not good sometimes.
Korra is not all bad though. And it's not so bad that I would not consider it canon. Like, let me just say that. Now, that being said, no, I'd be cool with Kavira coming back.
Kavira, the Milo is going to be in it 100%. Milo is in the show.
All those kids are going to be in it.
All those kids will be in it. Yeah.
Unless Jinora may play a big role in it. Like, I could see her like being just. Unless
Korra lived for like till she was old, right, and then died, then it's like, okay, we might just see Milo and Jinora or something, but we're not going to see like anyone else. But like,
actually, Jinora is probably the number one character I can think of that would make a return, because she'd probably be leading the Air Nation at this time, wouldn't she?
Probably, yeah. Or and Milo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her and Kai's kid too, probably.
Oh yeah, she did hook up with Kai.
Yeah.
That's true. So he might make a return as well. Trying to think who else. Like, I guess Asami might.
I wouldn't hate Asami and Mako's kid. The idea is like they did like you can impregnate Asami for me and we'll raise the kid.
Oh, no. Now,
like if you cuck child.
No, dude. No, it's still a kid's show.
Baki. Well, no, I mean, like that. I mean, that happens. Like, people do that. Like, lesbian couples get like.
It's a kids show. They're not going to go that deep, bro. Now
I'm just saying
they might have a situation to where after Korra died, maybe Asami and Mako hooked up or something. Like,
that would be just a spit in the face for both the Mako fans and the Korrasami fans.
Fuck it, dude.
They deserve it. Fuck them.
That whole end scene in Korra is a spit in the face because it made no fucking sense.
Yeah,
it was never, ever, ever hinted in the show.
Yeah, Grumpy says, "Yes, I can." Korra sucks, and then Korra's the last Jedi of Avatar. I don't know if I go that far.
Give me one indication before season 4 that they were ever into each other.
I mean, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. Don't get me wrong. I was saying what Grumpy said. No, it's yeah. So I hope that it's good. I'll rewatch Korra probably before it comes out. I don't know. I love Avatar, but I only love Avatar: The Last Airbender as it stands, the 3 seasons, and that's it. Right? Like, everything else you gotta kind of just nod along to. The comics, yeah, okay. Korra, yeah, okay. The live action show, yeah, okay. You know, like there hasn't, you know, there's nothing that's like,
yeah,
nothing
the
Shyamalan
Shyamalan movie was fucking terrible.
Yeah, Shyamalan movie's terrible. You don't even.
That was one of the worst movies.
That didn't happen. That didn't happen. That does not exist. That did not happen.
What about Korra hooked up with Mako and had a kid? You know, well, that would be even worse if Korra was the one to cheat on Asami. I'm just saying like it's more like a surrogate situation if they were going to do that just to give us something. But you also got Opal and Bo Lynn's kid. Could have two kids from them, one earthbender and one airbender, right? Like that'd be pretty cool. We won't see any more Bay Fongs. Well, no, yeah, you will because the other daughter had kids. So there will be a Bay Fong. There will be a Bay Fong out there.
The Bay Fongs continue strong, man.